Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. It is I, Dave, the Tabletop Wanderer, and we are back with some more Tiny Frontiers. And in our last episode, if you haven't watched it, go now, pause this one and go watch the last one, or if you haven't seen any of them, start from the beginning. And our characters, our heroes, Kade and D.O.G, they got themselves into a bit of a predicament, and we left them. They were hurtling themselves, nosediving down towards the planet of Zephyros, and that's where we're going to pick up. So without further ado, let's get into it. Before we go, I am very sorry, I've got a bit of a flu. It's not that good, okay? I'll try and get through all of this. I'm not going to try, I'll get through it, but forgive me if I start coughing and sneezing and wheezing and, all that good stuff. I'll cut it out, but, maybe I'll miss some of it. Let's go. So, D.O.G is nosediving down towards the planet, and Kade is screaming at the top of his lungs, D.O.G! D.O.G! And all of a sudden, the thrusters come online, and they continue to hurdle themselves, they continue to go down. Kade's always screaming, D.O.G! He's holding on for dear life in his pilot's seat in the cockpit, and they just go, and as soon as they're going to hit the ground, D.O.G lifts up his nose a bit, and the whole ship just goes sliding off across the planet floor. Trees crashing, going through all sorts of things, rocks, trees, stones, and at this certain point, D.O.G just stops. Kade is all like bruised and battered inside. He's no longer in his cockpit, in his seat. He's sprawled out across the floor of the cabin, and he gets up, and he's feeling just like I am right now, and he goes, D.O.G, are you there? Are you there, mate? And he can hear from the speakers, barely, Kade. I'm hurting. And Kade lifts himself up onto the seat, starts flipping switches and everything. Okay, D.O.G, give me a scan. How are you? How are your systems? And D.O.G goes, well, my hull severely damaged. Thrusters are online, but power's really low. Okay, D.O.G, how about radar? Anything? Can you pick up anything? And D.O.G turns to him and says, well, my scanners are basic, don't have too much of a range, but I can sense nothing outside. Okay, D.O.G, how about civilization? Are we near any city or town? Are they near any city or town? Let's see, let's get Moses Solo RPG GME Sci-Fi Edition, and let's see if they are near any city or town. And that is a 2. Yes, they are. Yes, Kade, I'm picking up a city a couple of kilometers away to the east. And Kade turns to D.O.G and says, well, do you think you can get there? And D.O.G goes, possibly. I can try. And so Kade straps himself into the seat. He's looking through the cockpit view, and he can see that the fiberglass is all wrecked. He can hardly see anything, just cracks all over the place. He remembers that Zephyros's atmosphere is not breathable. If I remember, yes, it's airless because of all of the industry. And he turns to Dog and says, do you think I should go into a safer spot on the ship? You know, airlock or something like that? Because this viewpoint port doesn't look good. And Dog says, no, I think it'll be alright. And Dog just starts to slowly lift up from the ground, turns towards the east and starts flying off. I'm going to say it'll take them about an hour or so to get to the city. And they get to the city. What's the city's name? I wonder. We are on Zephyros. We need a name for the city, right? Okay, let me see if I can get a name for the city. Be right back. Okay, so I went and looked for a name, and I think I got a quite cool little name for our city. So it isn't the main city of Zephyros, right? It's not the main city of Zephyros, but it is a rather large city, and they are on Sankus City. Okay, so they're not on it yet, they're getting there. They're on their way to Sankus City, and Dog is flying really low. His hull is all shot up. Hasn't got much fuel left also, but they're making their way to Sankus very, 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 very slowly. As they get into the zone of Zankus, they fly in, and Dog can find in the spaceport, he finds a spot, and he just lands without any interruption, without anything. Because Zephyros is a medium security, but we say that Zankus is basically on the other side of the planet, because the military vessel was falling on one side. It was probably heading towards the main city, the capital city of Zephyros, and Kade and D.O.G, they went around the other side, where that's where they got hit with the ion storm, and they crashed there. So it's on the other side of the planet. Not much security there. Is there a lot of population there? I don't know. Is there? Because it is a industrial planet, heavy industry, and there's revolutionaries. Oh, okay. So, let's say, is Sankus City home to a part of the revolutionary faction? I won't say the whole city, but let's see. That is a 2. Yes, it is. So there is some revolutionaries in here. The revolutionaries do have a base here on Sankus City. I wonder if that'll pop up. And we can say that, well, I'll say that Kade and D.O.G don't actually know that there's a base of operations for the revolutionaries in Sankus. So D.O.G just lands on the platform. I'm sorry, I'm really under the weather today. He lands on the platform, and we'll say that the atmosphere of Zephyros is airless. We'll say that there's this sort of protective atmosphere dome around the whole of the city, where people can just go in and be able to breathe without any apparatus, okay, without any breathing objects or materials or stuff. Equipment, that's the word, equipment. Okay, so Kade starts walking down the ramp and turns to Dog on his comlink and says, Dog, I'm going to see if I can get someone to help us out, okay? And Dog says, okay, Kade, I'll be here. I'll start doing diagnosis on my whole systems. Good idea, Dog. I'll see you in a little while. And so Kade walks off. What we can get now is, let's see, we do have Solo Spelunking's framework here, right here, and we have some actions that we can use in the city. While staying in the city, you have a list of city actions that you can take. If you track time of day, this framework assumes that resolving one action takes about 2 hours. After resolving a city's action from this list, check for a random encounter as outlined in the gameplay procedure. Okay, if an encounter occurs, use the urban encounter generator to create the encounter and resolve the encounter using your chosen system rules and conventional solo tools. Like an oracle or ID generator, expand. The time needed to resolve the encounter is figured into the time for the town actions. There is no need to overcomplicate things. Yeah, I don't like overcomplicating things. Okay, so let's see. We can interact comedic, text, slicer, or a similar character. Okay, nice. Let's do that. So Kade walks in. He walks out of the spaceport, and he starts looking around. There's a couple of people, a couple of beings, you know, not all human, walking around. Some mobile craft going up and down also. But from what he can see, Sanka City isn't a very populated area. It could have been back in the day, but at the moment it's not that populated. He starts looking around and is looking for signs of a mechanic or a tech or something like that. And he starts walking through the streets and stuff, and he goes and he finds a bar, okay, a tavern somewhere. So you eat, drink, relax, and maybe hear some rumors. Roll 1d6. On a 5 or 6, you pick up a rumor. Roll on the rumor generator. Roll on another d6. But I want to talk to the barman. Okay. So Kade walks into the bar, and he walks up to the counter, and there's this big, fat dude behind it. He's got a snout like an elephant and 2 horns. And Kade looks at him and goes, hello there. Hello there. I didn't mean that. And the figure looks at him and goes,
what do you want?
Well, I want a drink and some info, if possible.
What do you want to drink?
I don't know. Something strong, possibly? And the fella goes beneath the bar, brings out a shot glass, pours this greenish brown liquid into it.
There you go.
Okay, thanks. About that information, can you give me some?
Depends. What information do you want?
Well, I'm looking for a tech or a mechanic. Had a bit of a bumpy ride down. And the barman goes,
yeah, ion storms can do that. Should have waited a couple of hours.
Well, I was in a bit of a hurry. I'm paying the price now. So, about that mechanic, do you know where I can find one? Does the barman... Well, we're going to say the barman does know where he can find one. But does he tell Kade? No, he does not. No, and... So... Roll on the random event generator and roll on the verb and noun table. So he goes to the bar. The barman doesn't tell him where the mechanic is, but something happens. So let's see what's going to happen here. We need to roll on the random event generator, and that'll be a d20 on a planet. So we're going to roll on this table here. And we get an 8, and 8 is the lost artifact. Oh, Really? That's funny. Now we need to roll on the verb and the noun. And those are D100s. So for the verb, we get a 33. And 33 says extract. I think I've heard this before. Extract. And for... Oh wait, that's on the ship. No, sorry. 33 is transmit. 33 on the events is transmit, not extract. Transmit. And for the noun, we get a 24. Seismic. Transmit seismic. I think I got it. Okay, so as Kade is trying to convince the barman to tell him where the so-called mechanic is, all of a sudden the whole city is hit by a shockwave. Everything starts to tremble. All the glass where in the bar is shaking. Pictures are falling off the walls. Everything, like all the computer screens are glitching out. Everything's going crazy. Everyone's starting to scream. Kade is looking around. He's going to think to himself, what the hell is going on? And he runs outside and he can start to see some derelict buildings because Zephyros is more or less, it's not completely abandoned, but it is a bit, abandoned. This section of the city is a bit abandoned, sort of like a rundown section of the city. And some of the buildings are starting to collapse also, stuff like that. And he hits his comlink and he goes, Dog, what the hell's going on? What just happened? And over the comm, he can hear Dog.
Oh, okay, I think that was me.
And Kade goes, what? What do you mean you think it was you?
Well, I was doing my systems check, and I did another scan of the artifact, the crystal, and it just glowed, and it emits sort of this energy pulse, but it didn't do that much here. What's going over there?
What do you mean what's going over here? It's like a blooming earthquake. Like, can you do something about it?
Kade, the crystals sort of turned off.
What do you mean it's turned off?
Like, that he had that glowing power sort of thing.
Yeah?
Well, it doesn't have that glowing power sort of thing anymore.
Are you telling me, Dog, that you've broken the crystal?
No, what do you mean I'm breaking the crystal? I didn't break anything. It turned on and off by itself, okay? All I did was just scan it again.
Okay, I'll be right there. And so, at this point, the whole thing has stopped. There's no more tremors or anything. And Kade just starts running towards the spaceport, which is like a couple of minutes away. And he starts running down the alleyway, or the street, heading straight for the port. He gets into the spaceport, runs up the ramp, and he runs towards the area where the crystal is. And yep, the crystal is completely turned off. The glow has gone. It still has its color. It's sort of bluish white color, but the glow has stopped. And he turns to Dog and says, now what? Now what are we going to do, Dog? This is probably what we went after, but it's broken. It's like, no one's going to pay for this piece of glass. And Dog says,
well, Kade, I don't know, but it's probably just depleted itself and it might be able to regenerate. I have been monitoring it and the energy just seems to starting to recover, sort of.
And Kade goes, really? Do you think we can salvage this then?
Yes, but we do need to get to Orion Prime for that. And the way I am right now, I'm not going anywhere anytime soon.
Okay, I'll have to go and find that mechanic. I'm going to try and convince the barman once again.
Okay, Kate. Good luck.
And he goes off to the barman. He gets there, and people are still outside wondering what the hell is going on. And he walks into the bar, and you can see that the barman's not behind the bar. He notices there's, up against the wall, there's this sort of door, but it's hidden with the shelves of the bottles and everything. And he just notices it because the door's slightly ajar. And it's one of those doors that if it was completely closed, it would just be part of the whole bar, the back of the bar, and you couldn't see anything. Walks through the counter and opens up the bar door, the hidden door, and he walks through. And there's this tunnel which goes on for about a couple of meters, about 10 meters. And as he goes through the tunnel, he takes out his blaster pistol and he walks into this room. At the end of the room, the barman, he has his back to the door and he's talking to someone on this sort of pad, so like a video call. And does Kade, we'll say Kade can hear. He eavesdrops and he can hear the conversation, and all he hears is the elephant sort of being with the horns say,
"Yes, I'm sure it was."
And he can't quite hear the response.
Yes, here. And it was him. He was here at the bar.
And Kade thinks to himself and says, is he talking about me? Could be me, could be anyone else. Doesn't really matter. And as he's thinking about that, the barman turns off the tablet, turns around and encounters Kade, and Kade just points his pistol, his blaster at him and says, okay, dude, we need to talk. Where is the mechanic? And I'm not going to ask you again. And as he's pointing, he goes and shoots the wall beside the barman. Because don't forget, Kade's belief is that this is what we did when we rolled up the character. His belief is that my blaster does the talking. So he shoots the wall beside the barman. The barman goes,
Wait. I'll tell you where he is. You get out of here. Just leave me alone.
okay. Now, just one more question. Were you talking about me just now? And if so, who were you talking to?
No. I wasn't talking about you.
Does the barman convince Kade? 5 and 6, he does convince Kade. Otherwise, he does not. He does not convince Kade. And Kade, don't believe you, mate. I do not believe you. And the barman goes,
It's okay. Someone came in the other day and said, if a bounty hunter comes through, let me know. And he just dropped me some credits and gave me this link and left.
well, how do you know it was me?
Well, he gave me the link and a photo of you, right? Now, I don't know what he wants. I don't really care. I got paid. I told him you were here. That's your problem. Mechanics on the right-hand side, come about 500 meters down. Get out of here.
And Kade turns to him and goes, okay, I will. But first things first. So, Kade is a bounty hunter. He doesn't like people knowing that he's doing stuff. I wonder, will Kade just shoot the guy? Let's see. Does Kade shoot the barman? I believe that, yes, he does. But we're going to roll. And the oracle here says, if you believe the answer to the question has a higher chance of resulting in a yes, roll the 2d6 and keep the lowest of the 2 dice. So let's roll. No, he does not. Either way, he wouldn't. So Kade does not murder the barman. But what he does do, he points at the pistol at him, his blaster, and this is just for you to remember. Its energy bolt hits the barman in the knee, and his knee just goes, and the guy goes down.
Oh, bloody hell!
Kade turns around and leaves. And as he's walking out, above the screams of the barman, he goes, "Forget I was here. You've already done enough damage." And he walks out. Outside, people are starting to come back into the bar. And Kade leaves that door wide open. And the patrons of the bar looking as he's walking out of the door behind the counter, they're all looking at him. And again, they can hear inside the screams of the barman. And this human starts running behind the bar, and Kade steps in front of him and goes, "Leave him. Leave him." And the human puts up his hands and goes, "Okay, mister. Okay. Kade walks out the bar, turns to his right, and walks down the street. About 500 meters down, he sees this sort of workshop. The metal grating doors are closed, and he just bangs on it, and nothing. And he bangs on it again, still nothing. And he turns to Dog and says, "Dog, can you pick me up on your scanners?" And Dog replies,
Yes, Kade, I can.
"Do me a favor, Dog. See if there are any life signs in this place. This is our so-called mechanic."
Oh, okay.
Dog turns on his scanners, starts scanning everything, and says to Kade,
Yes, Kade. I got a life sign on the first floor, in the back.
"Oh, okay then, thanks." And he just picks out his pistol, his blast, and points it at the lock. The whole thing blows up, and he opens the shutter doors and walks inside. He walks inside, and everything's dark. There's machinery all over the place, space parts, shuttle parts, fighter parts. There's a completely torn down engine in the back. So it's a real mechanics workshop. The smell of grease and oil in the air. And he can see there's these winding stairs in the back, and he notices that up the top, sort of like a view screen, and it looks over the whole workshop. And Kade thinks, okay, that's where the dude is. He walks up and opens up the door, and there it is. There is someone lying on a cot, wrapped up in a blanket. And Kade goes up and kicks the bed. "Yo, wake up. I need your help." And the figure turns around, looks at him, and she goes,
"What do you want? I'm sleeping."
and Kade turns to him and says, "I need work done on my ship, pronto." And the figure, the being, grabs the blanket, puts it over her head, turns around, turns his back to him, and says,
"Come back when I'm open."
she goes,
What? Wait a minute. How the hell did you get in here?
and Kade said, "The door's open." She said, "No,
No, it wasn't.
well, I opened it. I need work done on my ship, now." She gets up and sits on the edge of the bed. She says,
Look, mister, don't know who you are, don't really care. One thing I do know, you're not supposed to be in here. Now, get out of my shop and come back when I'm open.
And Kade takes out his blaster, points it at her and says, "You're open now." She goes,
Ooh, I'm scared. You got your blaster pointed at me. What are you going to do? Shoot me? I'll let you know, I'm the only mechanic around here, unless you go to the capital. And that's on the other way, on the other side of the planet. Are you going to walk there, mister? Put away that thing. You don't scare me.
and Kade looks at her and he holsters his blaster. He says, "Okay then, when are you open?"
When I'm up. And you know what? I'm up. So I guess I'm open now.
So she gets up and Kade sees this slender figure. She's got red skin, dark black hair. She's wearing some overalls, and she goes up, and as she walks past him, she shoulder charges him a bit, hits him with her shoulder. And she looks out through the window and she sees that her door has been blasted open. And she turns to him and says,
Well, that's going to cost you more.
and Kade says, "Whatever. Can you do the job or not?" And she turns to him and says,
What job? You haven't even told me what you want. Yeah, I can do the job. Depends on the job.
and Kade says, "Okay, I'll take you to her." Now, they're walking out of the shop, and let's see, we've got some generators here, right? From Solar Spelunking. Urban Encounter Generator. Where is that? I could probably go to the beginning, right? Urban Encounter Generator. Here we go. Urban Encounter Generator. The prompt is a species NPC is activity with okay, we'll do that. NPC 1, 2, 3, all the PCs 4 and 6 on the D6 roll. Roll any die on a piece for an NPC. I've more or less know what I want to do, but we are going to roll anyway. We're just going to do something different. Let me just see what we get here. I won't roll. I am going to choose. We're going to do, as Kade and this mechanic are coming out of the shop, the workshop, they see... Okay, that's too low. Let's say 3. They see 3 beings in front of them. 2, 3. We'll say they're variants of humans or humans. Like 2 of them can be human, which are 2 humans and 1 different species, an alien. Figure that out later. They're not gang members or anything. They are part of the revolutionaries. And as they're standing outside, they come outside, and Kade and the mechanic see these 3 guys. They turn towards the left to go to the spaceport, and these 3 beings, these 3 revolutionaries, walk around and block their path. And Kade turns to him and goes, "Get out of the way." And one of the humans, the guy in the middle, says, "No, we need to talk." And Kade turns to him and says, "Don't know you. Mum always said don't talk to strangers. So get out of the way." The human turns to him and says, "Kade Jackson, we need to talk." And Kade is surprised by that. Takes a step back. His hand goes towards his holster, and the alien says, "Don't do it. We are not alone. Look at your vest." And Kade looks down at his vest, and he can see 2 red dots on his vest. just slightly moving, and he knows right there and then that he's being targeted. He looks around, he looks up top, and way down the end of the road on this building, he can see just a little flash of red, and he knows that's where the sniper is, one of them at least. And Kade says, okay, if we need to talk, we need to talk. Start talking. And the first human, the one in the middle, says, not here. Come with us. And the mechanic goes, well,
I'll see you later then.
and the other human goes to her, grabs her, and says, no, you'll see us now. You're also coming. And she goes, wait, well, I don't even know who this guy is. He just, look what he did to my door. He blew up my door. I'm not going anywhere. You're coming with us. I don't know him. And they walk off. All 5 of them. And that's where I'm going to stop. Stop right here. And we'll continue this on the next episode. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Go check out my Facebook group where we can chat about stuff, and also link in the description for my Facebook group and for my Discord channel. Pop on by. It is free. You know, we can talk, have a bit of fun there, and I'll see you all on the next one. Have a great one. Bye-bye.